Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for joining me today. Happy Sunday morning to you. I hope you are well. I hope you're having a fantastic weekend so far, and I hope the weather is as beautiful by you as it has been here by me. Wow, I don't know what happened, but the music got really loud. Hang on just a second. That's kind of what startled me, and it's not turning down. Hang on. Oh, it got really loud. I might actually have to turn that off. Well, I think I'm just going to pull this out of my ear. Well, actually, it's not so bad now. Anyway, sorry about that, folks. The weather here has been yeah, this is way too loud. Okay, so I'm just gonna pull that out. The weather over here has been absolutely not hearing anything. Try turning it up. Oh, sorry, I'm getting distracted. The weather here has been absolutely gorgeous. It has been in the mid to upper 60s for the last couple of days. It's been absolutely beautiful. Mr. Wizard spent most of yesterday morning outside enjoying the beautiful weather. The sun was shining. It was nice and warm. It was absolutely gorgeous. Unfortunately, I did not get outside as much as I wanted to, but sometimes that's just kind of how things go. Um, Hopefully I'll get to spend some more time outside today, but I do have a lot of indoor projects that I need to get done today. So at minimum, I will at least have the windows open and be able to enjoy it that way. Sorry. I don't know what happened with the music. I don't know why it kicked up like that. That was so weird. Like I hit the button and all of a sudden it just got blaring in my ear and it will not turn down. So I don't know what's going on there. But either way, thank you guys again so much for joining us. Today we are going to be working on our mystery project. Now, if you've been watching the channel for a little while now, you know that this one comes back every once in a while. It is a mystery project because it is a gift for a dear friend of mine who actually watches our channel. And it is a very specific pattern. And as soon as I tell you guys what the pattern is, that person will know that it's for them because it's a very specific design. So that's why I am trying to keep it a mystery for as long as I possibly can. But as we continue to put this one together, it will start to become more and more obvious. And at some point, they're just going to know that it's for them. But at least I can keep it a secret for a little while longer. The last time we came together, we put these beautiful pieces together, which they are referring to as feathers, if that gives you guys any bit of a clue. But they are referring to these as the feather pieces. And we had to put them together incorrectly because I didn't read the instructions the way I was supposed to. So I did pull them apart and I did put them back together. So they are correct now. So we are ready to move on. We are on step number 4, and I think there's like 14 or 18 steps to this thing. This is definitely one of the more complicated patterns that I've ever made. Let me just triple check. Yep, 17. There are 17 different steps in this. So it's definitely one of the more complicated, more complex, more precise patterns that I've ever followed. And that's kind of one of the reasons why it's taken me this long to get back to it. I started this project, I think, almost 2 or 3 years ago now. And it got to a point where it was just a little bit over my comfort zone. It was a little bit over my skill level. And I got a little overwhelmed by it. I got a little intimidated by it. So it went in my UFO project. And I just kind of waited a little while. But this year, one of my goals, my personal goals for myself, is to challenge myself and kind of put my skills to the test a little bit. So that's why I've been pulling out a lot of projects in my UFOs and things that I really wanted to do that I didn't think I had the skill level or the confidence to be able to do before. So this is one of those projects, and so I really thank you guys for that. It's because of you guys that I have this confidence level that I do, and that I'm able to dive into this project with enough confidence to be able to complete it. Now, I can tell just by looking at this as we're going through it, it's not going to be perfect. But you know what? That's okay, though. I think it's going to go together well enough that the pattern should still be there. But this is one of those patterns where you really have to be precise. So it does give me a little bit of anxiety over it because I am really worried that it's not going to come together the way it's supposed to. But I also feel like we're going to be able to make some adjustments as we go along, too. So that will hopefully help. So that's what we're going to be working on today. I'm not sure how much of it or how far we're going to get with it. We are going to be doing some sewing and a little bit of cutting, maybe some sewing again. We'll just have to kind of wait and see how things are going. Let me hop into chat really quick and say hello to everybody there because it has been a hot minute since I've seen some of you. I know with the weather being beautiful outside, a lot of people are spending their time outdoors Sunday mornings. A lot of people are having some flooding issues and things like that. So all of our friends in Kentucky, and I think there was even some in Tennessee. We are thinking about you. We are hoping you are okay. We are hoping you are well. And we're hoping that you're going to be able to get through this. All right, let me go ahead and hop into chat real quick and say hello to everybody there. I think, yes, Linda Denton was one of the first persons in chat this morning. So, Linda, thank you so much for being there so early. She was there like almost 2 hours ahead of time, which is just so great to see. So, thank you so much for being one of the first persons in chat. I really appreciate that. Teresa Lynch was also one of the first persons, as well as Kathy. So, good morning, ladies. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and for waiting for me. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much for being here. Brat46 is also here, but she says she's having some internet connection issues, so she may lose us. And that's okay, Brad46. We completely understand, but we appreciate you spending as much time as you can with us this morning. So good morning to you. Good morning, Terry. Thank you so much for joining us. Just a reminder, guys, Terry and Kathy are moderators on my channel. So if you guys have any questions or concerns or you see anything weird kind of going on, please let them know. They don't have a whole lot of control over the thimble stuff because that's more Streamlabs than it is YouTube. And that's more on Lucas's end. And I haven't seen him pop in yet today. I'm not sure what his schedule looks like. Lucas has got a really important job. He's on call 24/7, so sometimes he is able to make our streams and sometimes he's not. And that's okay. That is also why Kathy and Terry are here to help. So thank you, ladies, so much for being moderators and really, helping out. If it wasn't for you guys, I would be even more distracted than I usually am. So thank you very much for hanging out with me and doing that for me. I really appreciate it. Excuse me. Let's see who else is in chat this morning. Joyce Hernandez, good morning. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Happy Sunday morning to you. I hope you're well. Chloe is also here. Happy Sunday morning to you also, Chloe. Thanks for being here. Susan, you're out. Good morning. Susan, I noticed you've started joining Kathy over on her channel, and I've gotten to see what you look like in person, which is really exciting. Hopefully one day I'll be able to get you over here as well. So thank you so much for joining me. As a member of the channel, you do have the ability to join us for our members only live streams if that's something that you're interested in. And just a reminder to all of our members, we are doing our second members only live stream is tomorrow evening, 7:30 p.m. Central Time. We're going to be working on our project that we're working on. It's a specific quilt pattern. Hopefully everyone has cut up all of their pieces. If you guys are still running behind and you need to know what some of those cutting instructions are, send me an email later today and I'll be happy to get that back to you. Linda, by the way, I have been getting your emails. I am so sorry I have not been responding to them. It's one of those things where I see them and I go, I'm going to need to respond to that after I finish whatever this is. And by the time I finish that, I get distracted and go on to something else. And by the time I see your message again, it's been 2 or 3 days later. So I do apologize for that. You will receive a response from me here soon, and I apologize. All right, so let's see who else is with us this morning. I said good morning to Terry already. Susan is still there. Good morning. Teresa Lynch is also here. Chloe. Susan says she was up way late last night on Zoom retreats. She was so sorry the laptop cut out on one of Kathy's. Oh, that sounds like fun. I'm sorry that I missed that. But that sounds like a lot of fun. Excuse me. Sandra K is also here. Good morning, Sandra K. It is so great to see you. Happy Sunday morning to you. I hope you're well. Let's see. Judy, good morning. Welcome back to the channel. Happy Sunday morning to you. Patty, hello. She says hello with her pink hands. I love the pink hands. They're so much fun. I wish we could find purple ones. That might have to be one of my next emoticons because I can do different emotes for members. That might have to be I might need a purple and a green one. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. That's on my list of things to do. I just haven't gotten to it yet. So I have I think 4 or 5 slots. I only have 2 or 3 of them available right now, but I have 4 or 5 slots to fill up. So we'll get there eventually. It's just not been a high priority at the moment. Let's see who else is in here today. Trying to go slow to make sure I don't miss anybody. I hate it when I miss people. It just makes me so mad at myself. Oh, Judy, I think you're talking about thimbles, right? I'm like, 200,000? That's awesome. Yeah, she's talking about the thimbles. I was like, were we talking about subscribers? What are we talking about? Oh, that's so funny. Well, that is awesome. Congratulations on hitting that milestone with thimbles. That's really exciting. Susan says, I did check another UFO off my list yesterday. Woo, woo! Yes, those are awesome. Got the binding and the label sewn on the Purrs and Pumpkins quilt I made for my daughter. We'll be delivering it to her at the end of the month. That's exciting. I love it when I finish a UFO. It's so satisfying. So I'm really glad to hear that. In fact, I have this one here that you guys can see hanging on my wall that I really need to finish up. I haven't gotten to it yet. It's on the list. It's just something that I will get to eventually someday. You guys know how that is, right? Eventually we'll get to it. You know what it is I hung it on the wall thinking maybe if I hang it on the wall, then that will keep reminding me that I need to do it. Yeah, it's still there. Someday, someday it'll be okay. Sandra says she's starting to gather fabrics for a mini hexie. Oh my gosh, you guys are crazy with those mini hexies. I mean, more power to you. I think they're gorgeous. They're amazing. You guys are super talented. That is not in my wheelhouse. Hexies are not in my wheelhouse, but then mini ones? No. That requires hand sewing, and I do not do that. No, thank you. But I will live vicariously through you guys, that's for sure. But they're absolutely beautiful. Susan says, now to finish hand quilting on the May in Bloom door run banner. Ooh, that sounds like fun. I'd love to see what that one looks like eventually. When you get there. I think my thing's scrolled again. Hang on here. Yep, it scrolled again. I missed a bunch of people. Hang on here. Hi, Fern. Good morning. Welcome back to the channel. Thanks so much for being here. Sylvia is also here. Good morning. Sorry, guys. My thing scrolled on me. So I think I missed a couple. Good morning. Welcome back. Happy Sunday morning to you. I hope you're well. Denise, good morning. Welcome back to the channel. I hope you are well also. I hope you're having a fantastic week so far. Fern says, Danny, thank you for the mail this week. Oh, no problem, Fern. That was probably a thimble redemption, so you're very welcome. I'm sorry that it took me so long to get them out to you. I am trying to do better about that. I have a sinking feeling that I'm probably going to be late again with regards to April, May, and June. I may have to start doing these on a quarterly basis instead of monthly, simply because there's just been a lot going on lately. And May is coming up, and you guys, I've told you guys this a million times already, but May is going to be a very busy month for me. Like, I was trying to sit down and work through my schedule, and there's going to be a lot of things that I think we're just going to have to skip in the month of May because I have so much going on. The girls are graduating in May. So we have 2 graduation ceremonies, a graduation party, and then I have a couple of other things that are going on, a couple of birthday parties, and just a lot going on in May. It's going to be a really busy month for me. So I have a feeling that we're just going to have to skip some things that month. And it's really unfortunate, and I hate it when we have to do things like that. But I don't have any other choice. Like, I'm literally running out of days. There are not enough days in the month of May to be able to get it all done. So I hope you guys will at least be patient with me on that and work through me with that. But we're getting there. But thank you very much for that. I'm glad that you received it. I'm glad it was sent well. I only get tracking numbers on the bigger packages, not the smaller ones. So I always get a little worried that things don't make their way over there. But I'm glad that you received it. So that's good to know. Let's see. Still scrolling through. Oh, I scrolled again. Let's see. Still scrolling through. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, Lucas is in the house. Morning, bud. We weren't sure if you were going to make it, and that's okay if you couldn't. It was fine. Good morning. Happy Sunday morning to you. I hope you're well. Probably doing laundry, I'm sure. Linda says, crow. Crow? Crow what? What did I miss? Crow. Uh-oh. I think I missed something. Lucas says, YouTube never gave me the notification. Yeah, YouTube is kind of, it can be stupid like that sometimes. Like, I didn't get one either. It makes you feel any better. Of course, I'm already on, but... Oh, Linda says, sorry, doing genealogy and typing here. Oh, no problem, Linda. We completely understand. No, I'm glad you explained it, because otherwise we would have been confused. A lot of times when there's something confusing like that, like, I'll read it out loud and it confuses me, but I'll just keep moving. Like, they'll eventually tell me what it is. We'll figure it out eventually, but I'm glad you figured that out. Teresa Lynch says her birthday is May 23rd. Well, happy early birthday to you, Teresa. If you'd like to be part of my birthday program, make sure you send me an email with your mailing address and the date of your birthday, and I'll send you a little something special for your birthday. That's just something that I like to do. That is a reminder for anybody else, if you haven't already. If you want to be part of my birthday club, it's completely free. All you have to do is email me with your mailing address and your birthday, and I will try and send something in the mail special to you for your birthday. You can get my email by doing ! email in chat, or you can scroll down to the bottom of any one of my videos, and my email address is down there as well. But happy early birthday to you. Hi, Carrie Lynn. Welcome back to the channel. Diamond Paint Carrie Lynn is here. Hello. Welcome back. Thanks so much for being here. Happy Sunday morning to you. My thing keeps scrolling on me, guys, so I feel like I'm missing things, and so that's why I keep scrolling back up to make sure I'm not missing anything. Let's see. Sylvie says, thank you for my package. Also, yes, Sylvie, of course. Like I said, I'm really sorry that it took me so long to get those out, but I'm glad that I did. I'm glad that you guys are receiving them. That's always makes things a little bit better. Let's see. I think I have caught up on chat. If I did not say hello to you, I am truly, 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 truly sorry. Please make sure that you say hello again in chat. And this time I need you to tag me in it so that I make sure that I see it. You can do that's the app, that's the A with the circle around it, and then type in so not an expert. And what that does is it actually highlights it on the screen for me so I don't miss it. Now, I don't always respond to those highlights right away because I'm in the middle of something, but I do try to go back and see them. Of course, if I even miss that, that just keeps spamming me in chat until I see it. So thank you so much for that. I really appreciate it. Also, my moderators, they can get a hold of me outside of chat through Facebook and other places like that as well if they really need to. So if there is something urgent or important that I really need to see, there will be a way for me to see it. So thanks anyway. All right, so let's go ahead and let's get started with this mystery project. Before we do that, though, real quick, I already reminded you guys about the members thing. We are doing a members-only stream tomorrow evening, 7:30 p.m. Central Time, where we're going to be working on a new project. It's going to be a lot of fun. If you guys are interested in becoming a member, make sure you click the button down below. It should be a $sign inside of a square if you're in chat. And then you'll click on that, and there should be an option there for memberships, and you'll select that. Or you can go back to our channel page, and there's a button at the top of the channel page that says Join. I do know that there's an issue with some iPhones. I can't control iPhones. I'm really sorry. I don't know how to fix that. I have been told that if you go out of the YouTube app and go into the Safari web browser and then go into YouTube that way, that sometimes that works. But otherwise, I'm truly sorry about that. Maybe if you can get on a different computer, tablet, something else outside of a YouTube app. So it has to be like on the actual computer. That should be able to help things. Speaking of things. There we go. See, I told you there's other ways to get a hold of me. All right, so thanks so much for that. So thank you to our members. I will see you guys tomorrow afternoon. If you are interested in joining me on the Zoom call as part of our live stream, I will post a link on our community page, usually between 15 to 30 minutes before the stream. I'll throw that up there if that's something that you guys are interested in. Also, if you are interested, you can also get yourself some merch. Right now, we still have this old logo here. I am working on a new logo. It's kind of slow moving, so I'm hoping to have it done by the end of summer. We'll have to wait and see. But right now we have some merch with the old logo. So there's really cool coffee mugs here. We have some coffee mugs. We have some T-shirts. We have some sweatshirts. We have tank tops. We have drawstring bags, water bottles, bunch of stuff. So if you guys are interested in any of that, you can do ! merch in chat. Take a look at that. See if there's anything there. All right, I'm going to put this away because I'm terrified. I'm going to knock it off the table. I grabbed myself some caffeine this morning. I am like not quite awake, so I don't know what's happening. I think it's just the weather. I think it's my sinuses from all my allergy stuff. Who knows? But I'm not awake, so I'm going to take a big sip of this real quick, and then we're going to get started with our mystery project. We're going to be sewing these pieces here up together today. Yum. Okay. We're going to be sewing these pieces here up together. The directions say that we're going to be taking two pieces and sewing them one on top of the other. We have two different directions going on here. And then we're going to take the other three pieces and sew those up. So that is our first step for today. So quick, it's an easy one. Let me see if this is still really loud. Yeah, it's still really loud. Let's see if I can turn it down. No, it is not. Like, I literally have it muted on the computer, and it's just not turning down. So we're just going to move that over there. All right, so let me move this over here. Move that over there. Hi, baby. Want to say hello? No. Whenever she hears me talking to people. Whenever she hears me talking, she thinks I'm doing something strange in here. Hi, baby. Hi. No. She says no. No, Mom. Mom, you have that crazy camera on again, and I don't want any part of it. She's so funny. Anyway, what are you guys working on today? It is Sunday. We usually have some fun projects that we're working on. Obviously, as you can tell, I'm working on a fun whip that I've had for a little while now. What are you all working on? I just want to make sure that I got this lined up correctly. Yep. One on top of the other. Ah! I actually have to pin this to make sure that it stays the way it's supposed to. I'm not a big fan of pinning, but I'm gonna do a 1/4 inch. That's right. I'm gonna overlap by 1/4 of an inch. Ah! One of these days I will get it. I'm gonna do it like this. We're gonna say this is where I need to go. Do the 1/4 inch overlap. They don't tell you that in the instructions, but that is what you need to do. I'm wondering if I should just go. I'm probably overthinking this. Bird says she's working on an applique tree with birds and leaves on branches. Ooh, that sounds like fun. Let's try it this way. I wonder if I just did corner to corner. I think if I do corner to corner, it should work. Maybe I'm just overthinking it. We're gonna sew up a couple of. I'm just gonna sew a couple stitches here and make sure that it's right because I don't want to have to pull the whole thing apart. Doing a 1/4 inch seam on this. I can hear Mr. Wizard yelling at the dogs. Trying to line this up. So what is everybody else working on? I hope you're doing something fun out in the yard. Or outside if you can. Go. Hi, baby. Are you back again? Hopefully this turned out okay. Let's check and see. Hi, Don. Welcome back to the channel. Thanks so much for joining us today. Chloe says, I'm working on Pat Sloan's latest sew along, a grandma's something. Grandma's table, grandma's breakfast, grandma's kitchen. Then I have to finish up my son's Easter basket. Oh, that sounds like fun. Alright, looks like we are off ever so slightly. With these angles kind of wonky like this, they have a tendency to go off just a little bit sometimes. But that looks like it's going to be close enough. We'll go ahead and get that ironed out in just a second. You can't really tell. This way. That's these two here. Figure out what I'm doing here. That's these two here, so you can kind of see what that looks like a little bit. It's not perfect, but it'll do. There's the 3. Now let's go ahead and do this one. And I think I was just overthinking it. So I'm just going to lay this one on top of that one. Line them up. This one's going to line up really nicely, I think. And get it going. There we go. Alright. So today's plan is to sew up these pieces, obviously, because that's what I'm doing right now. And then we're going to have another strip set that I made a while back. So I made all the strip sets that we were going to need for this project way a long time ago. Long time ago. I did them on the channel. They were a long time ago. You guys can kind of see them off in the corner there of the table, or maybe, yeah, you can see them off in the corner there. We're going to be cutting up another one of those today. And again, it's on 45-degree angles, so that's going to stress me out. It is what it is. A lot of this project is being cut on 45-degree angles, and it's not something I've ever done before, so it's kind of a little stressful. Dawn says, this looks marvelous. Well, thank you, Dawn. I appreciate that. Alright, this one looks a little bit wonky as well. It's kind of off on an angle a little bit, but that's okay. Actually, I think it needs to be slid down, because this part is off on an angle too. It's like all of my edges are not really matching up kind of the way they're supposed to, and that's probably has a lot to do with my sewing or my cutting. But this one looks like it's off quite a bit, so I think we're going to go ahead and shift this one down. I'm going to pull this one apart and shift it down a little bit. So, while I pull out the divorce lawyer for just a moment here, shouldn't take me too long to do. Sandra says, Danny can't wait to see the finished top. You and me both, Sandra. Like, I'm really hoping this turns out well. I know that, like, I've said it before, but my cutting was not exactly the greatest on this project. And I think that that's going to cause some struggles for us as we get further along on this. I just hope it turns out well enough. Like, I kind of made the decision early on this year when I decided to bring this project back that it's kind of going to be, it is what it is. Like, we're going to get as far as we can with it based on what my current cutting options and stuff are. And we're going to see what happens. I can tell you that I was not as experienced or did not have the same skill level when I cut these pieces before. So some of the pieces are not the same sizes that they should be. And a lot of them are not straight. So hopefully it doesn't cause too much of a problem. But that's actually why I'm taking this piece out. Is they line up, but not as well as I would like them to. So I'm going to take this one out and shift it down a little bit. Just to make sure that everything kind of lines up the way it's supposed to. Do I remember the finished size? Yeah, I have it here. I can tell you. I think it was 52 by 52, but let me check. 37 by 54. So these are wall hangings. I say these because I do actually have a second one of this design, that's similar design that we have not even started yet that I would also like to do. We'll see. I decided to go with one at a time. But this is a wall hanging project for sure. That or a throw blanket. It'll be a nice size throw blanket too. I don't know. Well, we're gonna have to kind of wait and see here a little bit. See how it goes. I have not really given any thought to backing fabrics or how I want to quilt it yet or any of that. I have not thought about any of that right now. I'm just more focused on getting the top done first. Once I get the top done, then I can start thinking about all that. Oh, well, thank you, Terry. She says it's going to be gorgeous when it's finished. I love the colors of it. I will say that. Like, the colors are absolutely beautiful. I think I did a fantastic job with picking out the colors. I love these fall colors. They're one of my favorite color palettes. These oranges and the burnt oranges and the deep reds. And this is all grunge fabric. I don't know if you guys can tell that on the camera, but it is all grunge fabrics, which are my favorite product line. Excuse me, fabric line. So it is. I love the colors. The colors are just gorgeous. I really hope that it turns out. I'm trying not to think about the fact that it might not. I'm trying not to think about that. That's just gonna make me sad. All right, so I took that one off because I wanted to put it on here again. So let's put this together here. Hang on. Let's try to go this way, right? Yep, that way. And this way. 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, I guess. Let's see if I can get this to lay a little bit better. That one might actually lay a little bit better, I think. I don't know. There we go. Oh, I think we're getting somewhere. I don't normally use pins, but I am going to in this case just to make sure that it doesn't slide on me as I'm moving it through. Triple check. Triple check to make sure. Yeah, that's going to lay much nicer. Yep, that's how it needs to go. Okay. Alright, let's try and sew this up again. So I don't know if you guys can see these black strips of fabric that are in between everything that's kind of separating stuff. Those black strips are 3/4 of an inch wide. So by the time you sew them up a 1/4 inch on either side, you end up with a 1/4 inch piece of fabric. And that's kind of the whole point of it. But my gosh, they're so tiny. And I know that I didn't do a great job of cutting them initially. About halfway through cutting all these pieces, I bought a stripology ruler and started cutting them with the stripology ruler. And that did seem to help a bit. But there are still quite a few that didn't get cut the way they should have. So that's part of my problem is those black pieces are not all the same size and they should be. And that's part of the struggle that I'm having with it. There we go. There's the other one. Now we've got the 3 more on either side to do. That looks pretty good, I think. Alright, so let's go ahead and sew these up together now. This one gets sewn to this one. Just like that. That one. I'm just using a couple of pins just to hold it together till I get it over to the machine. Susan says this week will be a busy one. Palm Sunday today. Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah. A Maundy Thursday service, Good Friday service, Easter Vigil, and then Easter Sunday. My goodness. We will have a live stream next Sunday for Easter Sunday, but I completely understand if there's going to be a lot of you that can't make it. I totally understand that. There's always the replay later that you can watch, but we will be having a live stream on Sunday. Um, it's kind of a special one. We're going to be starting on a new project that I don't even want to think about because it gives me anxiety just thinking about it. And I'll probably explain it a little bit more, but next Sunday is a very special Sunday for me, not just because it's Easter Sunday, but also for other reasons as well. So we will be having a live stream. But again, I completely understand for those of you that won't be able to make it for various reasons. If you spend time with your family, Easter egg hunts, whatever, I completely understand. But that's also why there's no replay later. You can catch it on a different day if you need to. Great. Making sure my pieces are lining up here. I'm taking my time with this one. I'm trying to fix the mistakes that I made before. Hopefully they're not too bad. For instance, so next Sunday 1 hour late. No. No, I will still be on stream normal time next Sunday. No issues for me. But I also understand that most of you might be late for whatever reason, and that's okay. Or not able to make it at all. Next Sunday will be a normal stream. Normal stream, normal time. Alright. There's two. Now I gotta sew up this third one. I guess it doesn't really matter which way I sew it. So this end. Yeah, see, this piece is way too big. Let me see if I can measure this piece. Might have to trim this one down a little bit. Yes, Joyce. Just another day. She says, just another day for me. Yeah, I'm gonna need to trim this one up a little bit. This one's a little on the big side. Trim it up. Rat 46 says, hopefully she'll have internet access to the computer. Well, I'm hoping so. I hope by then they'll help fix it for you. Yeah, it looks like I'm just a little bit off on this one. I'm gonna make sure I'm measuring this correctly. I'm gonna trim it just ever so slightly. Excuse me. Yeah, a little bit. A little bit. And now, if we add this piece. Well, we're gonna hope for the best. That's where I'm at. I'm gonna hope for the best. Throw a couple pins just to hold it in place to get it over to the machine. There you go. Sandra says, I'll be dog sitting 3 of them. Well, I have 3 dogs, so to me that's not a lot of dogs. Are they big dogs, little dogs? I hope they get along. Then I could understand why that might be stressful. I have 3 dogs, so to me 3 dogs is a normal everyday thing for me. I hear you. Being dumb. Why are you being dumb? Sounds like Mr. Wizard might be out in the garage. He does all of his painting out in the garage, and I know he had some painting to do today, so he must be out there. Oh, no, nothing. I thought you were out in the garage. He's not out in the garage. He's next door. I heard a noise. I thought you were out in the garage. Oh, I don't need nothing. There we go. Now we're moving with gas. Now we're moving along. My machine has been making a weird rubbing noise. I tried changing the needle. I tried cleaning it out. I think that there might be something a little wonky, so I probably need to bring it in to have it serviced again. And to be honest, it's close to that time. I think I had it serviced in July or August of last year, so it's probably time. But I'm being stubborn and waiting it out. There we go. That looks good. That looks like it worked out okay. This. Alright, so there are our strip pieces. Well, that's one of them anyway. So there's one 3-piece. And then one 2-piece. That. There we go. Then we gotta get these 3 together now. Do you have a backup machine? Yes, Dawn, I do have a backup machine. I do. I actually have a couple of them. Obviously, it's not, my baby lock. It is another brother. I actually call it baby. This is baby. I call this baby, obviously for baby lock. And then I call the other one her little brother. Because it's a little bit littler and it's a brother. But yes, I do have a backup. It sounds to me like the needle might be rubbing as it comes down. That's kind of what it is. Yeah, thank you, cute, she says. It sounds like the needle might be rubbing, so I'm wondering if the needle shaft is bent just ever so slightly, because I know that's what happened with Mama Joyce's machine. So I'm wondering if maybe that same thing has happened with mine, because, it really wouldn't surprise me, honestly. But it's doing okay, and I probably should take it in a little bit sooner than I am. But, I'll get there. So I need to do the same thing that I did to the other one. I just need to do it backwards. And so I'm just trying to figure out how to do it backwards now. I basically have to line it up again. I lined up before. I think that's enough. She says hesitantly. I gotta go this way. to line it up this way. I have to be honest and say I don't know how I did this before. Maybe you guys are paying attention. Oh, actually I do. I take that back. I do know how I did this before. I take that back. There. Let's try that. It's not going to be perfect, but it should be close. Now the other thing is with all this 45-degree angle stuff, the pieces are stretching ever so slightly as I'm handling them, and so I'm trying really hard to be careful and not pull on anything and stretch them. But that is the other reason, the other challenge that I'm running into with regards to everything not quite lining up the way it's supposed to. So yeah, this one is a challenge for sure, and that's kind of why it's been sitting in my wood pile for a while. But we're getting through it. Just like everything else in life, we're taking it one step at a time. Trying not to think too far ahead of it, trying not to overthink it. And just kind of letting it happen. Making sure everything lines up the way it's supposed to. Close enough. It'll do what I want it to do. Alright. Sorry about that. Yes, Dawn, a biased nightmare. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, and it's just like, I'm just trying to do the best I can. It's like, just trying to figure it out the best I can. So I will lay the black piece down. Then I take the white one. And here's what I've been doing is I've been taking this white corner here, because it's all white. I'm taking that corner, and I've been lining it up with the edge goes here, and then this lines up on that corner, like this. That's kind of how I've been lining, and I don't know if I've been explaining that correctly or not, but basically there's this black, I don't know if you guys can see it, but there's this black corner piece here, and so I've been trying to like cut that corner off with the edge of this one to kind of give me my 1/4 inch overhang there, and then I line up the rest of it all the way across. So it's been working out fairly well. I mean, like I said, all of these pieces are kind of stretched a little bit or cut wrong or what have you, so it's not lining up perfectly, but I'm not going to let that bother me. We'll get to that when we get to it, and we'll see what happens. So that's how I've been trying to make sure the pieces line up as best as I can. Snyder says, I would have lots of thimbles if I didn't redeem them all the time, but she likes getting gifts in the mail. I don't know anybody that doesn't like getting gifts in the mail, Sandra, so I can understand that. And that's what they're there for. They're not there they're there for you guys to redeem them. So some people like to hang on to them, and that's okay too. There's nothing wrong with that. Whatever you guys want to do with them is completely up to you. All right. Last seam. Hopefully it lines up. one. John says, I like collecting the thimbles. Yeah, some people do. Terry says, LOL, redeem them? Terry, I don't think you've ever redeemed your thimble. You and Lucas, I don't think. You guys are obviously saving up for a big prize, whatever that may be. I still have yet to update that with the car. Alright, there we go. So now I'm going to go ahead and I will need to iron these later on, but I think right now, since I'm just going to be putting them right back into our container, that I'm just going to go ahead and leave them for now. We can come back and iron them once we're ready to sew them up again. The other thing I will say, and this is just an observation that I have made, I don't know what brand of fabric I used for this black fabric, but it's probably not a super high quality. And that's the other reason that I'm struggling, is because it's just shredding like crazy. So that's the other kind of challenge that I'm working through. But otherwise, I think it turned out pretty well so far. I mean, my lines don't line up the way quite the way they're supposed to, but I'm really not going to worry about it. Like, it kind of is what it is. I'm not going to stress about it too much. Hopefully, it still looks the way it's supposed to, and we'll go from there. Like I've mentioned before, I'm going to keep going with it, and we'll see what happens with it. I'm just really hoping that it turns out at least halfway decent. We'll see what happens. But let's go ahead and put these away for now. I'm saving up for the car, Judy says. I'm going to need to cut it. Okay, so now I have my big, huge cutting mat out today. Because like I've mentioned before, we're going to need to cut up a strip set that we made a while ago. Not this white one just yet. This orange one. This orange one needs to be cut up. We'll set that back up there. We've got this one here. Absolutely beautiful. Orange and black. Looks like a pumpkin. We're going to need to cut this one out of degree. Yes, Fern. Absolutely. Finish is better than done. Yes, finish is better than perfect. And never done. That is 100% true. And that's why I'm going to keep going as far as I can with it, and we'll have to wait and see. Joyce says, I haven't redeemed them either. Oh, well. There you go. Alright, so here is our strip tube. We need to flip it over so the black is at the top, according to the instructions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, okay. We're going to make a strip. Make a strip set of 6. Okay, I did that. Cut mirror image 45-degree angles on the ends. Cut 2 2¼ segments from each end. Okay. Actually, this is small enough. I should be able to use this ruler. I guess I could do it this way. Okay, so it says to start in the corner here. So I've got my 45-degree angle lined up here in the corner. Get the salvage out of the way, I think. I've got 45-degree lined up here. Triple check. Yeah, I didn't think that would work. Let's turn this just for a second. There we go. 45-degree line is there. I cut it, but it didn't go all the way through. I think I actually need a new blade on my cutting wheel, but we'll worry about that later. There we go. There we go. That one went through. All right, so now I need to do, excuse me, turn this again. I need to do a 2 1/4. That's 2 1/4. So I keep the 45-degree angle on this line here, and then I measure 2 1/4 from this way. And I just need one, which is really weird that I have to do this whole thing for one piece. There's one. Now I gotta do the other side. Susan, that sounds like an awesome idea. She says she's trying to collect and still allow and redeem so that she still has enough of a cushion. There's nothing wrong with that. There's no rules on when you should or shouldn't redeem. You redeem whenever you're comfortable. Okay, so there's the 45 this way. That's not going to let me. Okay, I need to go. Yeah, now I can do it this way. Okay. One of the nice things about this table is that it's kind of movable, so I can kind of move it around to the angle I need. So 45-degree line down here. What did they do with it? Dawn says, Clay, I'm not going to lie, I was disappointed. So much uplift and promotion from them since I started quilting. Very sparse, not much fabric, not many people. Oh, what are we talking about? What are we talking about? Sorry, I think I missed something. Oh, Dawn says, I went to MSQ this week. Were you there for a special event or just to go? If I would have went for a retreat with other quilters, it would have been a totally different experience. Oh, okay. So you basically just went there for shopping? Did you go during the week or on a weekend? I mean, I don't know how all any of that works. Okay, so I've got a 45-degree angle here. How did I do this before? So I did that one there. How am I going to get... I'll go this way. Can I do that? Will it let me? I can get it here. How am I going to cut? Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I think I figured it out. Now that I've got the angle cut, I'm going to spin it around. Somebody had reminded everybody to give a thumbs up, so thank you very much for that reminder. I appreciate that. If you guys could go over and tickle that like button, that would really help out. Okay, there's the 45. There's the 45. Okay, so if I do it this way, 2 1/4, 2 1/4, 45, 2 1/4. There we go. Now I'm getting it. This one took me a minute to figure it out, but I got it. Alright, so I should have 2. Check and make sure. That way. That way. Like that. Awesome. Sweet. I only needed 1 of these. Let me just triple check and make sure. Cut 2 2 1/4 segments from each end. See, this is why you read the instructions. So I gotta cut another one. So there's my 45-degree line. There's my 2 1/4 line. Making sure that everything lines up. Looks like things are not quite lining up. Looks like I'm gonna have to trim a little bit. Make sure this 1/4. So this one looks like I'm gonna have to trim it. It looks like it's got a little wonky, so that's okay. Just know that I just now know that I need to do that. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut it. We'll trim it. There's my 45-degree line. There's my 2 1/4, and it kind of veers off a little bit. So that's why I was kind of worried. Okay. All right, let's flip it this way. 2 1/4, 45. Off here. There. That's better. Alright, we're getting there. Dawn says, I did see a print that was around $12 a yard. I've had that in my stash for about 3 years. Not sure why it was on the two shelves of bargain fabric they had. Oh. Sounds like prices were a little high. Is that what you're saying there, Dawn? Sorry to hear that. That's always a little disappointing, you know? Like you said, all the hoopla about it, and you'd think that it would be something a little bit better. There we go. Never mind. I don't know what I'm doing now. 45, 2 1/4. Well, Dawn, I'm sorry to hear that you were disappointed. Alright. There we go. Alright, so we need to do 2 segments of each. So here's the rest of it. This is all going in my scrap fabric bin. I have a scrap fabric Ziploc that I keep all my fabric pieces in, and then so once I get to a point where I have enough scrap fabrics, then I give them, I create boxes, scrap busting boxes for our members, and they get at least 1 box a year, if not more. So you guys will likely see some of these pieces in your scrap box the next time we mail one this year. I usually don't give out my scraps until I'm done with the project, though, so it'll all depend on kind of the timing of it. It was stagnant and not full of fabric. Really? Wow. That's unfortunate. Dawn says, I went to the Iowa Quilt Museum. That was neat. Awesome. Well, I'm glad you at least made the best of it. Alright, so we have these pieces here. And now the directions tell me that I need to grab, I've still got some extra pieces of fabric that were cut at the beginning of the project, and it tells me I need to grab this bead fabric that I have here, and I need to cut some squares out of it. Well, let's go ahead and do that. Okay. The Iowa Quilt Museum is on my bucket list. Yeah, mine too. Mine too, John. Mine too. Okay. Cut 2 2/5/8 squares of medium. Diagonally sew these triangles above the black on the top of units and stuff like. Add the black to the outside edge. Okay, so here's this one. We need to cut 2 squares out of this. Go ahead and lay that down. Okay. Salvage off first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, there we go, there's those. Fold this one back up. I don't know if we're going to need it again or not. We'll have to wait and see as we get through the instructions. So at the beginning of the instructions, it told you to cut a bunch of strip pieces in various sizes. So I did that a long time ago. That's where a lot of my cutting issues come from, for sure. While I'm in here, I'm going to go ahead and grab one of these. One of the other sets of instructions was we needed to cut 180 3/4-inch black strips out of a width of fabric. So I'm just going to grab one. I only need one right now. So I've got a handful of them here. I never actually counted how many I cut. I just kept cutting. That up there. Put this up here. That up there. That one off to the side for now. Does anybody else try and organize as they go? Because otherwise we would make ourselves crazy. Or is that just me? Like, I think I only need one. Squares medium. Cut them in half diagonally. So these triangles above the black on the top. So I really only need. Oh no, I do need it. Okay. I do need 4 because there's 4 pieces. Okay. Sylvia says, I try to organize if I succeed. That's questionable. Fair. Fair, Sylvia, that's fair. I can agree with that. Yeah, 100%. Okay, so it looks like we're going to need to center this up. So I'm going to do this little trick that I learned. I'll fold this one, give myself the little there. I'll take this one. Fold this one like this. And those 2 up like that. Whatever, make sure it's centered. This is a trick that I showed Lucas how to do. I didn't make up this trick. I actually learned this from Donna Jordan. When you have triangle pieces and you need to line them up to a straight piece, and you need to make sure that it's nice and centered, this is a great way to do that. Okay, that one. Hi Gladys, good morning. Happy Sunday morning to you. I hope you're well. You're having a fantastic weekend so far. Thank you so much for joining us. Gladys does stuff on her own channel, and she also joins Kathy quite a bit on her channel as well. So if you guys haven't already, please make sure you go check out her also. Gladys, you'll have to forgive me. I don't remember what your schedule is like when you are uploading videos and things like that. So if you want to let us know, you're welcome to do so. All right, last one. Dawn says, I enjoy being messy. I have to follow so many rules in life that breaking the rules and being messy is a bliss. There's nothing wrong with that, Dawn. Uh, my ADD brain can't handle things that are too unorganized. That's not to say I'm like a neat freak or clean freak or anything, but some things just I can't function unless they're semi-organized. Um, Mr. Wizard laughs at me because I hate odd numbers. Like when we have three of something, it makes me crazy. There has to be two or four or five. Five is okay. I'm okay with five. But if there's three of something, like I have to buy another one in order to make sure that we have enough. He likes to make fun of me for that all the time. All right. Dawn says that is why quilting is so great. You define what works for you. Absolutely, Dawn. Yes, 100%. Your quilt space, whatever that is, how big or how small, is your space. That is up to you, how you want to maintain it, how you want to work through it. Sandra says, watching oiled my machine today, so much quieter. Yeah. Sandra, I'm with you. I miss not having Donna Jordan videos. I know she, obviously she hasn't been gone for very long, and I know the family is still trying to figure out what they're doing and working through that, but it's just baffling to me that, I'm gonna have this journey. I'm gonna keep going on this journey without her. This is baffling. So Sylvia says I cleaned and oiled yesterday. I just recently cleaned mine last week, 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago I cleaned it. I do try to do it every couple of live streams because I usually a weekend warrior, although I have been doing a lot during the week lately with live streams and things like that. But I usually do that every couple of live streams. That's usually how I know I need to do it. Alright, let's go ahead and get these triangle pieces sewn on here. Once you could put the pin down, couldn't find the pin cushion. Over here. Yeah, there's definitely something rubbing. I don't know what, but there's definitely something rubbing. Well, going back and watching old Donna Jordan videos is definitely a great way to support the family and the channel, for sure. That's a great way to support any channel, honestly. Just go back and watch some of the older videos. I'm always going back and watching some of her older stuff as a reference, like not just because, she's not here or whatever, but because I'm making something and I want a reference of how to do it. I've been sending Mama Joyce to her videos a lot with regards to putting binding on, because Mama Joyce has been working on a lot of binding for some of her quilts, and so I keep sending her over there because that's the original way that I had learned how to do binding was from Donna Jordan and how she did it. Eventually, I learned how to do it on the bias and how to do it. I wouldn't necessarily say the correct way because I don't know that there is really a correct way to do it. But when you're first learning and you're first trying to figure it out, her video on how to put a binding on is extremely helpful. Mama Joyce was able to put a binding on a quilt and put it in the washing machine and then mail it out to her intended recipient. So obviously it's doing something, so obviously it was successful. Didn't it say towards the black? No, I'm just gonna do it this way. Looks like I've got a handful of dog ears to clip off, so I'm going to go ahead and do that real quick. I also need to sew up a black strip to this, so we're going to go ahead and do that real quick also. Pull out my ironing mat real quick, so let me turn this on. I'm saying real quick a lot. Joyce Hernandez says, I finished my machine after finishing each project. Well, Joyce, it takes me so long to finish a project that I'd never be able to clean my machine if I did that. Because you guys know I have 5 or 6 projects going at a time. So I just do mine every couple of weeks. But, you know, each person is different and each person does things differently. So, of course, you should, you know, do whatever works best for you and for your machine, too. Some machines don't need to be, you know, it just depends on what you're doing with it. That quilt is going to be gorgeous. Well, thank you, Terry, very much. I have to agree with you. I really hope it turns out the way it's supposed to. Like, I really, really hope it does. So we're going to press these pieces real quick. Then we're going to trim up the dog ears off. And then we are going to be sewing that black strip onto the outside edges, which is this piece here. So these two go over here. These two go over here. So this edge here and this edge here. So the shorter edge, you know what I'm going to do? Just so that I don't lose my brain trying to figure this out. Just going to put a pin on that side so that I know that's the side the black needs to go. Because otherwise we're going to iron this up and then my brain's going to reset and I'm not going to remember. So just going to put a pin on that side so that I know that's the side the black needs to go to. There we go. Alright, iron is hot. So let's go ahead and iron these up real quick. Looks like my ironing. Iron is a little sticky. You can see I've got some leftover, some residue, some starch residue on there. So I'll have to clean that later. But I think that's all we're going to need the iron for right now. So we get the black on. So, all right, put that back down here for a minute. All right, so now I'm just going to trim off these dog ears real quick. That should only take a second to do. Joyce says, it takes me about 2 weeks to finish a project, sometimes a month. Oh my gosh, Joyce, it takes me months. It takes me months to finish a project. Months and months and months, usually. But, you know, I've told you guys before, I'm a weekend warrior. I don't do this stuff every day. And sometimes, depending on the complexity of the project, it can take a little bit longer to do things. Uh-oh. It's really short. Leave it. Yeah, it just depends on the complexity of the project. Like, sometimes I can do things pretty quickly, and then other times it takes me forever to do them. Yeah, these are all short. So weird. Alright, well, guess we're gonna have to wait and see. Like our puppies project, that one's gonna take me a while. Obviously, this one has taken me years. That's also why I don't set time limits on things. On my projects, you know, if I'm doing something for someone specific, I don't usually set a time limit for it. Basically, it's whenever it gets done is when it gets done. I don't worry too much about when it's supposed to be done. Terry wants to know how much of this project is done. Dawn, we are on step 6 of 17. So, not quite halfway. A little less than halfway. I'm going to say about 35%, maybe. So there's still a long way to go. The steps aren't hard. They're pretty detailed. They go fairly quickly. But, yeah. We're not very far in. We're definitely not very far in. Alright. So that right there. Nope. Good. So in the black. So we're on step 6 right now. What time is it? Just about noon? Okay, good. So we're on step 6 right now. We need to sew up this black piece here. So I've got this black piece. I'll sew that down. Oh, damn it. Oh, damn it. There we go. Haha, thank goodness it was long. I'll grab this, put that down on my presser foot. Okay. Grab this piece. There we go. So I've got my black strip down on my machine, and I'm just going to lay these pieces on top of that one and sew them up as I go, and then I can trim them up later. Now these are on an angle, so I have to remember to leave myself enough space in between. In case I need to angle anything. Now, can you guys hear that? I don't know if you guys can hear that, but it's... Yeah, there's definitely something going on. Definitely something. There's something rubbing. I don't know if it's the bobbin that's rubbing up against the machine and that's what's causing the sound, or if there's something else rubbing, but there's definitely a rubbing noise. I did switch out the needle once before and that did not seem to help at all. I have switched out different bobbins and that does not seem to be helping either. It's not a real loud rubbing and it doesn't seem to be affecting the sewing at all, but I do need to bring it in. And I'm really hoping that I can get it to last me through April, and then with everything I've got going on in May, I will probably drop it off in May, because there will actually be 2 weeks in May where we won't have any live streams at all. So that will be a perfect opportunity for me to drop it off. I'm hoping. I gotta tell you guys, remember marking these with the pin so that I knew which side was which. Really helped. Really helped out. Sorry if I'm missing chat, guys. Give me just a second. Though finishing a project means I start another. Sylvia, that's true. 100%. Yeah. Is this a drop in bobbin? Yes, it is a drop in bobbin. Yes. Yep. I like to use the metal bobbins instead of plastic ones. I know the machine, the owner's manual, and everything says to use plastic ones, but I really prefer the metal ones. But I do know that metal ones have a tendency to cause a little bit of a sound with them sometimes. So I really think honestly I think it's the needle. I think the needle is just ever so slightly grazing on the the hole that it comes down on. And like I said, I have switched out the needle once already. I will likely switch it out again just to make 100% certain that it's not the needle that's bent. I think it's actually the shaft that holds the needle. It's just ever so slightly bent. It's either the shaft that holds the needle or the shaft that holds the presser foot. It's not bad. It's just you can hear it rubbing, and that's why I'm not going very fast. I'm going pretty slow. I think that's all it is. All right, but I will get it checked out soon enough. All right, so I've got all my pieces sewn up here. So let me go ahead and pull my iron back out. Let's iron these up, and then we'll trim them. Is it a Class C bobbin? I don't know. I don't know enough about my bobbins to know the answer to that question. Because I was even thinking about that the other day when I thought I should really buy more bobbins, but I don't remember what size bobbin this is. I don't remember, Dawn. I'm sorry. I'm hoping it is. I know it's the right one for the machine. I've used these bobbins plenty of times before, so it's not like it's a new bobbin. And it's not just this color of thread or this, black thread that's causing the issue. So I don't think it's a bobbin issue. I mean, but it could be. It could absolutely be. Can you look it up online with the Megan? You can look it up online with the Megan model. Oh, the type of bobbin? Yeah. I have the owner's manual. I could look it up there too and see what type of bobbin it requires. And I've just been lazy and haven't done it yet. Because I did want to actually order some more because I feel like the pack of the extra ones that I have is gone. I've filled them all up, so I would like to order some more, and I just haven't really looked into it that much. Dawn says, I'm impressed you were able to find a metal bobbin. Kudos. The ones I have, I ordered many years ago, so there might be some issues with them now. But the ones that I have, I didn't order very many of them. I mean, they were obviously much more expensive than plastic for certain. But I want to say I ordered them on Amazon. I want to say. I do know that Waywick, which is where I order a lot of my thread from, I know that they have them there. I've seen them advertise them on their website and in their catalog. But I don't know if they have the size I need. So. Pre-wound, no, Terry, I do not buy pre-wound bobbins. No, I just buy them empty and I wind them myself. No, I don't buy pre-wound bobbins, no. I have so much thread that I'm trying to go through. Obviously not as much thread as forgive me, I can't remember her name now. But she had like over 100 or 200 rolls. I don't think I have that much thread, but I do have a lot that I've been given over the years that I've been trying to go through. So using the pre-wound bobbins doesn't really work for me because I'm constantly trying to use up different colors. Brenda says, hi, busy day. No problem, Brenda. We totally understand. No worries. We're glad you could stop in, even if it is just for a minute. We totally get it. The weather is beautiful outside, so it's totally understandable that some people might be hanging out outside in their outdoor spaces. I understand that. Not to mention the Easter holiday is coming up as well, so some people might be prepping or planning for that, especially if you're hosting. that event. Make this smarter on myself here. Cut the short edge first, the straight edge first. There we go. Then I can trim the other edges. Work smarter, not harder. Let's help ourselves here. Just gonna separate them real quick. There we go. Smarter, not harder. Something I tell my team all the time at work. Let's try to work smarter, not harder. If there's a more efficient way to do something, then we need to do that. Or we need to try and get there as quickly as we can. Oh. Alright. That one. There. I'll trim up the rest of these real quick. And then we are on to step number 7, which is, of course, more cutting of the strip set. We'll probably get through that today and then have to move on. So this is a very slow-moving project, just like a lot of our other projects, because it's pretty detailed. I will say that there's a lot of scrap with this project because of the 45-degree angles and that kind of stuff. There's quite a bit of scrap left over. And it's kind of neat scrap because it's all these strip sets that we kind of are cutting up. So it's kind of neat. The scraps, I'm not quite sure what people would use them for, but it kind of is what it is. Alright, so these are now cut up. We'll set these off to the side. And now we need to cut this. This is another strip set we have here. We're going to need to do some weird angled cuts with this. We're going to be cutting some squares and then cutting those squares into angles. Maybe it's better if I just lay it on top. I was going to lay it on underneath, but it might be better if I just go over the top. Preparing, oh, yeah, the dreaded 4-letter word. Preparing to give Leo his bath. Yeah, bath is a 4-letter word in our home as well. Our dogs are groomed, so we actually don't bathe them very much in our home unless they really need it. They get groomed every 6 to 8 weeks anyway, so they get a bath then. But yes, that is 100% a 4-letter word in a dog's vocabulary. 100%. Alright, so let me trim this edge off first. These strip sets are not really straight. I mean, I tried to keep them as straight as I could, but they kind of go off on an angle a little bit. Stop here. There we go. Let's scrap. Oh, he loves the bath. Oh, well, that's good. Some dogs are not real thrilled with it, and some dogs like water, so. Okay. Cut 4 1.5 inch segments. Okay. Oh, 1.5. Hang on. 1.5. Ooh, that looks like that. 1.5. 2. 3. 1 more. 4. Alright, so there's those 4. And then I need to cut 2 9-inch. And this ruler is not big enough. It's big enough. I like to have it wide enough. So I have a square ruler over here. Let me grab that. Excuse me just a second. I have my square rulers over here in the corner. 13-inch square. Make things a little bit easier on me. I don't use these square ones that often, so that's kind of why they're tucked off in the corner. But in this case, it's right next to the paper shredder, so I think it's grabbed some paper dust. There we go. My Yorkie tells my husband that I tried to drown her. Fair. That's fair, yeah. I can understand that. That's funny. That's funny. Oh, I like that. Yorkies are very dramatic, so I can understand that. I'm fairly certain Ivy, our baby, would probably tell her that too if I was the one that was doing it. Alright, so I need 2 9-inch squares. There's one. Two. This one around because the edge got a little wonky on me. Go. And then it says we need to cut these on an angle. I probably don't need this one anymore. I can probably use. No, we're not going to use this one. Ooh, even this one's not quite long enough. Alrighty, I guess 3 rulers down. Jeez, I have to go with the really big one. It says cut corner to corner. These 2 pieces here. Cut 1 each direction, upper left to lower right and lower left to upper right. So they'll be opposites. So this one goes. This way. And this one goes this way. Marking them with the direction with a pin just so that I know which direction they go. Because I get easily distracted and forget things. Out. Go. 1. This one goes this way to this way. There we go. There we go. It goes this way to this way. Alright. Pull those pins back out. So don't need them anymore, at least not right now. Alright. This one. Now, we're going to be sewing. Okay, sew 1 segment to each outside edge of the units. These here. top edges are even. On the black side. What do we do with Sorry guys, I'm ignoring chat here just for a second, trying to focus. Give me just a minute here. So this one goes with this one, making sure that top edge is lined up. Just keeping an eye on our time, making sure we don't go over too far. You guys know, if you guys are anything like me, then when you're in this room, it's like time stands still. You forget about it entirely. I don't normally use pins, but sometimes I need them just to kind of remind me of placement for things. So I will use pins in this case. So that I remember. Okay, this one lines up with this edge here. I don't know if I told you guys, but I bought brand new quilting pins not too long ago. I bought these really pretty butterfly ones. I don't know if you can see. I replaced all of my other ones. They were starting to get dull and bent and things like that, and so I probably just could have tossed out a handful of them, but I just decided those were old, and I decided to treat myself with a new set of pens. So these are quilting pins. They're nice, long, straight pins, and they've got these really pretty plastic pieces on the ends, which makes it easy to find them and easy to handle them. I know they're not ideal for ironing and things like that, because you obviously don't want to iron on top of those because it melts. But it works for what I want, and it gives me something pretty to look at in the process. So black to the outside edge. Oh, so I need another black strip. Let me grab that for a minute. While I'm in here, let me throw my scrap pieces in my scrap pieces Ziploc. I told you, these scraps are like really wonky. They're all kinds of weird sizes, or sizes and shapes and strip pieces, and I can't wait to see what creative minds are able to do with these. Because Lord knows my brain is not that creative. This one for a little while. Go. Just need one of these. Back in there. Okay, here's my black strip. Alright, so we're going to be doing a little bit of sewing here first. What time we got? 15 minutes? This will be funny. We are currently on step 7, the bottom of step 7. Now I know you guys are not following along because I have not given you the pattern. But this is 7 out of 17. So we're getting there. Hi Mona, welcome back to the channel. It's so great to see you. Happy Sunday morning to you. I hope you're well. Guys, if you haven't already, please make sure you go check out Mona's channel. They do a lot of really cool, fun things over there. Lots of really cool, fun things. She's always got some really cool special guests. I do try and catch her channel as often as I can. I'm usually a lurker. I'm not usually participating in chat or anything. But she has a lot of fun over there. So make sure you check her out. I'm going to try and go this way. This one, the seams are kind of tricky because they're really close to the edge here. So I'm trying to figure out the best way to do this. I'm thinking this isn't going to work. I'm going to have to put this the other way, I think. Please tell me this is 3/4 of an inch. Hang on here, guys. It looks really small, and so I'm just trying to make sure that it really is. Yep, it really is 3/4 of an inch. But I'm going to have to press it the other way. I'm going to have to repress these pieces. Because it's not going to sew up otherwise. This piece is so tiny. I told you guys it's a 3/4 inch strip, which means you get the 2/4 inch seams and they will fold over each other. Hi, Lucas. Sorry about that. Chat is wondering if this is a cotton cuts project. No, this is not a cotton cuts project. No, this is a mystery project for me, not for you guys, but for me. It's a project that is for a close friend of mine who watches our channel, and so I'm trying to keep it a secret as long as I can. Thanks for letting me know that, Lucas. I must have missed that note. New table and mat. Yes, Mona, this is a newer table. Mr. Wizard helped me put it together. It's a sheet of plywood that we covered with fabric because I needed a larger work surface for some projects, like this project specifically. The mat is not new, no, but it is not something I bring out very often because it is a very large mat. I usually use it in my kitchen, if I'm being honest. It's usually on my kitchen counter. But when I'm using these big pieces, I need to pull it out. And this 1/4 inch seam is really tricky. I think I got it. Let's see. Yep, I got it. It's going to lay a little wonky, be a little bulky there, but I did get it. Pieces are kind of one on top of the other here. Show you. There you go. What we got going on. That one's going to need a nice hard press because like one piece is laying and then the other piece has to lay on kind of on top of it, so it's going to be a little bulky there. But it should work. 3 more to go. Hi, Linda. Welcome back. Brett says 40. Brett Forces says next a curtain rod for your design wall. I keep thinking about you actually using this piece of wood here as my design wall and hanging it on the wall, or a curtain rod. I haven't decided yet, honestly. I keep. It's one of those things where I hate hanging things on my walls because we spent so much time and energy painting them to look so nice that I'm terrified and I don't want to put holes in the walls. So that's why there's still a post-it note here and not my clock, because I just have to put a hole in the wall to do it. And I know there's like command strips and things like that, but I'm finding that because there's so many layers of paint on these walls, the command strips actually pulls the paint off. So it's a whole thing. So I'm just really hesitant about really doing a whole lot. Now, I do want a design wall at some point. I haven't decided if I'm going to use this piece of wood here when I'm not using it, hang it up on the wall and use that, or things like that. Um, but it takes paint off. Yep. Yeah, Mona, I had the same problem in my other sewing studio when I was over there. I had the little command strips on the walls, and it pulled the paint right off the walls. So I have to be very careful with that. I will put things on the walls eventually. I'm trying to just enjoy the process because we spent so much time and energy painting all these walls. So yeah, but I'm thinking about using this wood piece here actually as a design wall because then I can just pin things to it rather than hanging something. That way I actually have a place to store this as well when I'm not using it. Right now it's just kind of stored up on the floor in the corner, which is fine for off camera, but you know, if I'm going to have guests over or things like that, I thought maybe it might be better to actually have it as a square on the wall. So then that way it has its own place. So that's one of the things I've been considering, thinking about. I haven't really made up my mind or really figured out how I'm going to hang it up there yet. Um, Maybe put up a clothesline thing so there aren't many holes in the walls. Yeah, that would work too. Also, Terry, you know, there's like all of these ideas I have and different things, and I'm just still trying to figure it all out. Like, I have these beautiful wood clamps, quilting clamps that I want to use to actually hang pieces. Like this one here, right now it's got thumbtacks. It's just being hung up by thumbtacks. So I have some beautiful clamps I'm going to use for that. And some other places in the room too. So I mean, I have a bunch of ideas of things I want to do. I just need to bite the bullet and do something. You know what I mean? Picture rail, yeah, that could work as well. Yeah, picture rail could work really well too. That's actually a really great idea. Also, IKEA sells those lines. Yeah, so I'm getting there. I'm thinking it through. I'm slowly trying to figure it out. So I was gonna sew this from one side the side that I pinned, but it turns out that's not gonna work. I'm gonna have to sew it from this side. So I'm just gonna be real careful about it. Go. So yeah, I've got some things, some plans in mind, things I want to do. It's like I was telling Mr. Wizard yesterday. I've got all these plans, and the planning part is great. It's the execution that needs work. It's the execution part that needs a little work. But this is a little tricky because the seam is right here from the other pieces that we sewed up together. So I got to fold it back and then sew underneath it. It's just a little tricky, so I'm trying to be careful here. Got to keep that 1/4 inch seam as best I can. It's not really working very well. Really need to get over here. There we go. Ouch. This is why I don't use pins. Go with myself. So this is a mystery project for the channel. Even though I know what it is. It's not cotton cuts related, no. It has nothing to do with cotton cuts at all. But I think having the mystery is a little bit of fun too. Kind of keeps things exciting. Keeps you guys guessing. There we go. Alright. Terry says, I like the green wall as it is. I do like the green wall. The camera doesn't always like it. The camera thinks it's a green screen sometimes, which is kind of fun. It's a little bit of a fun challenge every once in a while. Because I guess it is almost the exact color as a green screen, so it's a little fun sometimes. But I do like it as well, Terry. I really do. I mean, it's kind of become my trademark for the channel here, the green wall. Um, we'll see. I'm not really in any hurry. I'm not moving spaces. I'm not going anywhere. This is going to be bumblebee pattern. No, not a bumblebee pattern. No. I'm not really going anywhere. This is going to be my space for a while. I had thought about buying some different furniture for a hot minute, and then kind of changed my mind on that and decided I really kind of like the way the layout is in here, and I want to keep utilizing my cabinet for a while until eventually someday I may end up with a bigger machine that doesn't fit in the cabinet anymore. Then I'll have to rethink things again. But for right now, I kind of like the way things are laid out. I'm comfortable in this space. It's a multi-purpose space. It's not just my sewing studio. It's also my office for when I work from home, because I do work from home every once in a while. And then it also allows for just enough floor space for an air mattress in here, so that when the kids do come home and they spend the night with us, and when they both come home, they have separate spaces too. So, and Terry says I like the cabinet. You and me both, Terry. Like, this cabinet is never going anywhere. Like, it is staying here forever. it's gonna stay here. Like, even if I get to a point where I end up with a bigger machine and I have to buy a different desk, this cabinet is still staying. Like, it will just move around in this room, but it is staying. It's not going anywhere. For a Halloween episode, if you wear a green shirt that matches the wall, would you disappear like they do at the news at times? Brett, it depends on the setting. So right now, I actually have it set up on the camera so that there is no green wall. But yeah, I totally could. Yeah. And every once in a while the setting changes on its own, because because it's trying to be smart and recognizes the green wall there, and so it thinks it's a green screen, so it changes settings on me every once in a while. So that's why I have some trouble sometimes. But yeah, if I set it up, I could. Yeah, I could set it up so that I disappear. So it's just a floating head. That might be fun someday. All right. The other green in here, so here's the fun part about this, guys, is that this green in real life, outside of the camera, is actually a really dark green. It's more of a grass green than it is a bright green. And it's because of the way the camera picks it up. So in the other room, when we were in the other room, you guys kept telling me that green looked more yellow. And that was a lime green. Like, the legitimate color for that room was lime green. And when you walked in, it was a bright lime green. But the camera always messes with the colors a little bit, going through the TVs and things like that. And so everybody kept telling me it looked yellow. So I went one shade darker, or like more green, when I picked up this paint color. So when you look at it in real life, when you're walking into my quilting studio and you look at it, without the camera, it looks more of a grass green than a lime green. But then as soon as you add the lights and the camera, it turns more of this like neon green, and I absolutely love it. I think it looks wonderful on the camera, and I think it looks great in the room as well. But it's just funny how that messes with things just ever so slightly. But yeah, this color is actually more of a grass green. And every once in a while, the camera and the internet connection and everything does something wonky, and you actually see the true color of it. Um, but yeah, it's pretty neat. All right. Back to what I was doing here, sewing up these pieces, trying to make sure that they stay together. All of these seams really are starting to be a little bit of a pain. There we go. All right. Here's another one where we're going to roll it over. It's going to be this quarter and quarter, quarter, quarter thing. Pieces are going to have to overlap. Have any of you guys worked with a project where the seams have to overlap? I actually might have to trim all these seams down to 1/8 of an inch to get them to overlap in some places so that they lay flat. Like this one won't even lay flat because the pieces are So I'm going to have to look into that, but there we go. There's that for now. Last one. I think I'm just going to have to trim the seams down a little bit. I'm thinking the traditional 1/4" seam is not going to work for some of these pieces because of that, all that bulk of all of the other seams coming together. That's okay. We'll work through it. I'm sewing these really slowly because of this overlap that's happening here. I don't know how any of you can machine sew such small pieces. Like, it's making me insane. Going slow. There we go. Fabric Cafe pattern. Ooh. Terry says, I'm looking for a good pattern for black, white, and gray pattern. If anyone sees a goodie, please let me know. Ooh, black, white, and gray. There we go. This one actually like nice and flat. Alright, so there's those. Now it says we need to sew up another black strip to the edge. So let's go ahead and grab this one here, get this one down. What's the time we've got? Did I say 12:33? Okay. So we'll finish up this last strip here so that these pieces are done, and then we'll have a way to start on something brand new when we come back. But for now, let's go ahead and get these going. We'll get this black strip sewn up on here, and then finish out for the day. Anybody have any fun plans for the rest of today or the rest of your weekend? I will be spending the rest of my day in my kitchen. I have some dog food I need to make, and I have some breakfast sandwiches that I need to make. I have not posted it yet, but for those of you who are interested, we will be doing a block party video on the channel. I have officially picked out the blocks that we're going to be working on. I can tell you guys about that here if you give me just a second. We are going to be working on a block called Tulip Twist. It is number 603. It is on page 309. I'll be putting the official thumbnail up for that if you guys are interested. So block party video not this Thursday but next Thursday, 7:30 p.m. Central Time. It will be for Tulip Twist is the name of the pattern. It will be pattern number 603 on page 309. This will be a traditional pieced pattern. I know I said I was going to try to do another paper piecing project, but I just didn't like any. Well, I shouldn't say I didn't like any of them. None of them really fit with the spring theme that I wanted to go for, that were in the book. So I decided not to do another paper piecing project this month, but we will be getting back into that. We will be doing another one to replace our the one that we missed in March. We will be doing a different one for that. Also, speaking of paper piecing, for those of you who do a lot of paper piecing, have you guys found if using a light table helps with that? I know I've seen quite a few people use light tables before, and I'm trying to decide if FPP, a bicycle. Oh, Sylvia, that sounds like fun. I'm trying to decide if I should purchase one for myself because I would like to eventually get to a point where I'm doing a full-size paper piecing project. And I feel like that would be really helpful. So if you guys have used if you guys do a lot of FPP and you've used um, a light table before with your projects and you found it to be helpful, please let me know. And also if you can tell me which one you have, because I know there's a bunch of them out there. If you've used one and you found it to be helpful and you have a specific one that you really like, please let me know. You can email me, you can send me a message on Facebook, you can post it in our Facebook group, you can put a comment here in this channel if you're watching after the stream is over, or even in chat, that will work too. I'd really like to know, I'm trying to plan ahead a little bit and figure out what's going to work best for me. Alright, so I think what I'm going to do, rather than press this and trim it now, I'm gonna actually sew up the other piece. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. I might sew the other piece up and then iron them both down. I don't know. We'll see. Either way, so this is where we're at now. I use my light pad for applique. Oh, okay. Yeah, applique works too. Yes, they help. Okay. Thanks for that. I've been thinking about purchasing one. I just don't know enough about them to know like which type to purchase. Like big, small, dark light. I don't know enough about them to know what to do. So if you guys have some recommendations, suggestions, please email them to me if you can, or send me a message on Facebook, or reach out to me on Instagram, or even just put a comment down on this in this video as well. The comments, I always check the comments. I don't always reply to them in time, but I do check them all because I'd really like to know more about it. I'm looking for opinions from our experts because Lord knows I am not one. And I'm not going to be one of those people that like buys a bunch of different kinds to try them out. I don't have that kind of a budget, so. But I would like to eventually get to a point where I'm using one, and I just don't know enough about them to know which one to use. So, you guys tell me. Alright. Okay, so we've got our black strips sewn up here. I'm not going to trim it up. I'm going to go ahead and leave it for now. Kind of all connected up together. And I guess I could trim it up. It's fine for now. We're going to come back to this project anyway. So I'm just going to go ahead and fold these all up. They all need to be hard pressed anyway. And then these are going to go with these. Let me just... go top. That. I'm marking these with a pin just so that I know which way is which, top to bottom. I'm not sure if that's really necessary or not. But I'm afraid that by the time we get back to this project a while from now, I won't remember. So I'm going to do top to bottom this way. Top, bottom, okay. That way I kind of remember, because when I lay them like this, I'm not going to know which one's which. So, okay. And then I've got these 4 pieces here. All right, so we have gone through hiccups again. We have gone through. We started when we got here. We started at the bottom of. No, we started on step 4. This is where we started when we got here, and we have gone through step. We're at the bottom of step 7, so we're halfway through step 7. So about 3 steps. As you can see, you guys have been watching me do this. They're very detailed steps and instructions, so we got to take our time. We got to go very slow. Sylvie says not used, but have been looking. Oh, well, good. Fern says she got hers on Temu. Oh, interesting. How does it work? Does it work well? So as you guys can see, there's a lot of, intricate instructions. You guys can start to see a little bit what the pieces are starting to look like here a little bit. And we will continue to build up on this. It's going to continue to stay a mystery as long as I can. Eventually, it will become fairly obvious what it is. But I'm going to try and keep it a mystery as long as I can. I can't wait to see the finished quilt. It's going to be amazing. Yeah, Patty, I have to agree with you. I really hope it comes together the way I'm hoping that it does. I'm still kind of up in the air about whether the whole thing's going to come together or not. It really just depends. I mean, we're doing all these little pieces, but when we start to put all these pieces together, I just hope that there's enough give in some of these pieces to stretch them, to get them to do what I need them to do in order to make the final pattern. I just hope. I guess we're going to have to wait and see how it looks. The good news is that the person I'm making this for, hopefully they won't be able to see the flaws in it because it won't be perfect, but we'll have to wait and see. Anyway, friends, thank you so much for hanging out with me today in my sewing room and in my quilting room. I really appreciate it. For those of you who aren't going to be able to make it next week for our live stream next Sunday, I hope you have a wonderful Easter. I hope you get to spend time with your friends and family. And I hope you have a great, great day. The live stream will be available next Sunday as a replay if you can't catch it next Sunday. But if you are able to come next Sunday, we are going to be starting on a brand new project. And I'm going to tell you right now, it's going to be a really hard one for me. It is not a quilting project at all. It is still sewing, but it is not a quilting project at all. We're going to be following a pattern. We're going to be making something. If you guys have seen the thumbnail, then you already know what it is that we're going to be making. And if you've read the description, then you kind of already know why it's going to be difficult. If not, go check that out, and I will explain it to you a little bit more next week. We're going to have to see on that one. That one's probably that one will be a year-long project. And it's going to be it's probably going to take us a full year to get that one done. It's probably going to be at least 12 episodes, if not more. So we'll have to wait and see how long that takes. But anyway, thanks again, guys, so much. You can cut on surface. I'm looking at that. Ooh, Sylvia, that actually sounds like a great idea, too. That sounds awesome. I don't know if I need one that I need to cut on the surface for it, but yeah. Linda says, I will be here. Husband has to work. Peace and calm the week, everyone. Yes, of course. Just a quick reminder to our members, we are having a members-only live stream on tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. Central Time. I will be posting a link in our members-only community chat for you to join me. Probably around somewhere between 7 and 7:15 is when I will probably drop that link in there. If you want to join in the Zoom, you absolutely do not have to do that. If you're not comfortable with that, it is fine. It will be a regular live stream, so you're welcome to join us in chat as well, or you can watch after as well. It's completely up to you. 7:30 p.m. Central Time tomorrow. We're going to be working on that. And then I don't think I have any other live streams scheduled for this week. And next week is our block party video. I will remind you guys again, and I will be posting a thumbnail. It is called Tulip Twist. It is number 603, and it is on page 309. So you guys have got, 2 weeks, a week and a half, to get your fabric pieces picked out and cut up and ready to go. So you want to have your pieces picked out. Hi, Wrigley. Your pieces cut up and then everything ready to go so that we can make the block on Thursday's live stream next week. Not this coming week, the following. So. All right, friends. Anyway, I have rambled on long enough. And I will see you guys again next Sunday. Bye for now.